Good morning, everybody. Well, welcome to our worship this morning here at Theodore Parker Church, which is today everywhere. And if you're joining us for the first time, I'm Reverend Heather Concannon. I'm the minister of the congregation, and my pronouns are she, hers. And we are joining together all on Zoom for a snow day this morning. So as we enter into our worship, we bring with us all of the joys and sorrows of our week. And we know that here we are held in loving community. Here we are reminded that we are part of something larger than ourselves. Here we seek to counter oppression, to work for healing and justice in a bruised and broken world. Here we invite all of you to bring your perspectives, your beliefs, and your doubts, and all that is unique and wondrous about you to our service. In the spirit of love, all are welcome. So a few orientations this morning. If you're joining us, we invite you to turn on gallery view and wave and say hello to one another in the chat. You can tell us where you're joining from if you'd like, or maybe what you've brought with you this morning. We especially invite you to get cozy, grab some tea, grab some coffee, maybe a blanket, and lean into this moment of rest and coziness as a way to resist the intensity of the world right now and an invitation to pause and to rest. Sometimes the world asks us to do so much, and sometimes we're reminded that pausing and resting are sacred practices as well. Later in the service, we'll have some time for quiet reflection, and if you like to journal, you may want to grab a journal, and we have a special invitation if you'd like to make paper snowflakes. If doing something with your hands while you listen helps you to listen, we invite you to grab some scissors and some paper and make some paper snowflakes. And it's likely going to be a shorter service today, but we'll have just sort of a little short contemplation. If you didn't, the planned worship has been moved to March 2nd, and the special meeting has been moved to February 23rd. So we'll have a shorter sort of contemplative service today, and then we'll have breakout rooms at the end to say hello and good morning to each other. And with that, Rose will lead us into worship with our opening words.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Our opening words this morning are warmth in winter by Ben Soul. Now has come hard winter, with whip of wind and slash of snow, and the diamond bright stars and the black ice of the heavens. Just as we resist the season with shovel and scraper, wool and windbreaker, we embrace it with sled and snowboard, cocoa and comforter. Winter is here. Let us find warmth in this time of being together. We'll now share our opening hymn, which is 123, Spirit of Life. We're going to share a video of this hymn being sung. It's by the UU Virtual Singers of the Unitarian Church of Los Alamos, New Mexico. And the lyrics of the hymn will be in the chat, so I invite you to join in as you wish, staying muted, and enjoy Spirit of Life.
Spirit of life, come unto me. Sing in my heart all the stirrings of compassion. Blow in the wind in the sea, move in the hand, giving life the shape of justice. Wounds won't be closed, we set me free. Spirit of life, come to me, come to me.
Thank you, Jake, for screen sharing and for making it possible for us to enjoy this music together this morning. We're now going to light our flaming chalice, this chalice behind me. Please join me in saying our words of covenant, our chalice lighting words, which we say each week, both in English and in Spanish. We say the Spanish in honor of our sibling community in Plazuelas, El Salvador. The words will be in the chat, are already in the chat, so please do join me in saying them. And if you have a chalice, a candle of any kind at home, I invite you to light it along with me. Love is the spirit of this church, and service is its prayer. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. El amor es el espíritu de esta iglesia, y el servicio es nuestra oración. Esta es nuestra gran promesa, vivir juntos en paz, buscar la verdad con amor, y ayudarnos los unos a los otros. We have a story to share with you all next. I've added Reverend Heather and Jonathan up on the screen, so you'll all be sharing this story together. It's called The Weight of the Snowflake, written by Janine Gossamer and adapted by Sin Finley. Reverend Heather will be sharing some props to help animate our story, which you'll see. Yep, there they are. And we'll note that we know the birds don't quite match the birds in the story, but we're all using our imaginations together.
There were only so many stuffed animals in my house.
Only so many stuffed animals. The Weight of the Snowflake. This story takes place in the woods in wintertime, on a day perhaps much like today. On a winter afternoon filled with white snow, a chickadee perched on a thin branch of a maple tree and watched the snowflakes fall. A bright red cardinal flew over and landed nearby.
What you doing?
Chirped the cardinal,
Watching snowflakes.
said the chickadee. The cardinal cocked his head to one side.
What for?
They're pretty, and each one is different. I haven't seen two that look the same.
A snowflake is a snowflake, that's what I say.
Said the cardinal.
And they're cold. Me, I can't wait for spring. This winter stuff is for the mammals. They have fur on their toes.
The chickadee nodded, so that the little black cap on her head bobbed up and down. But she didn't say yes, and she didn't say no. White snowflakes fell all around them. The cardinal put his foot down and hopped sideways on the branch to get a little closer to her.
What you doing now?
Counting snowflakes.
Said the chickadee. The cardinal cocked his head to one side.
What on Sky for?
I was wondering how many snowflakes this branch will hold.
Don't worry about it. What I say.
said the cardinal.
Snowflakes don't weigh anything.
Not anything?
Well, almost not anything. Snowflakes weigh next to nothing. They don't count anything. They don't count for anything, and they're all the same.
He clacked his strong beak once, twice, and then again.
You know what, little chickadee? You should find something else to do. That's what I say.
The little chickadee nodded, so the black cap and the head bobbed up and down, but she didn't say yes, and she didn't say no. After a minute, the cardinal clacked his beak once more, then flapped his strong red wings and flew away. The chickadee stayed where she was, perched on the thin branch of the maple tree and counting the snowflakes as they fell. White snowflakes fell all around her. More snowflakes fell, each one different, each one beautiful. Some of them landed on the branch, snowflake after snowflake, each one weighing almost nothing, but each one counting for something. Because as the chickadee counted snowflake number 10,303, that branch broke from the weight of the snow. The chickadee fell with the branch, but only for a moment, for she flapped her wings and flew up into the snowflakes that fell from the sky. Each snowflake different, each snowflake beautiful, each snowflake counting for something in its own way.
Thanks, Rose and Jonathan, for sharing the story with me. So I'm going to invite us into a winter meditation written by Amy Marshall. As we enter into a space of meditation, I invite you to find a comfortable and relaxed space. Maybe close your eyes and take a deep breath. Feel the tension leaving your body with each breath. And I invite you to imagine yourself in a serene winter landscape. Picture a vast, snow-covered field surrounded by tall, majestic trees. The air is crisp and clean, and a gentle snowfall is creating a blanket of tranquility around you. Take a moment to connect with the stillness of winter. Visualize the snowflakes gracefully falling from the sky, each one unique and intricate. As they land softly on the ground, imagine them covering the landscape in a pure white layer, creating a sense of calm and peace. Now turn your attention to your breath. Inhale deeply through your nose, allowing the cold air to fill your lungs. Feel the crispness of the winter air. Exhale slowly through your mouth, releasing any tension or stress you might be holding on to. As you continue to breathe deeply, let your mind wander to the beauty of winter's silence. The world around you is hushed, and you're enveloped in a cocoon of tranquility. The only sound you can hear is the soft crunching of snow beneath your feet. Feel the coolness of the snow beneath you. Maybe you reach down and pick some up. Maybe you can feel it through your shoes or your boots. And as you walk through the field, notice the details. The delicate frost on the branches, the clarity of the air, the stillness. With each step, let go of any thoughts or worries that might be occupying your mind. Allow the landscape around you to absorb them, leaving you with a sense of clarity. Now, with each step, take a moment to express gratitude for the beauty around you and the peace that it brings. Gratitude for the stillness and the opportunity to connect with nature. And just take another breath or two. When you're ready, I invite you to come back to this moment. Maybe wiggle your fingers and toes. And when you're ready, open your eyes. And we'll continue in a meditative spirit as Jonathan shares an interlude of music with us.
Our next reading is called Why I Go Nordic Skiing in the Woods by Rosemary Trummer. Because the world. And then, with one step, I slide into snow mind, in which I'm glide, sun bright and crystalline, field vast and drift found, a boundary-less being, a sparkling immensity, moving inside a glittering realm, and whoever else I might be, in a small world of rooms and stoplights and screens and keys is not lost exactly, but is too little here and not see beyond as I become soft meadow, receiver of birdsong, inhaler of evergreen, in a static point in infinite space, sliding from grace to ever expanding grace.
So friends, I'm going to invite us into 3 or 4 minutes of contemplative quiet while Jonathan plays. And during this time, I invite you to maybe journal or draw or cut paper snowflakes or just sit in contemplative stillness and reflect on the question, where are you finding moments of rest in this time? I'll put that in the chat. Let's enter into a space of stillness and consider, where are you finding moments of rest in this time? Our next reading is titled Shoveling Snow with the Buddha by Billy Collins. In the usual iconography of the temple or the local walk, you would never see him doing such a thing, tossing the dry snow over a mountain of his bare, round shoulder, his hair tied in a knot, a model of concentration. Sitting is more his speed, if that is the word for what he does or does not do. Even the season is wrong for him. In all his manifestations, is it not warm or slightly humid? Is this not implied by his serene expression, that smile so wide it wraps itself around the waist of the universe? But here we are, working our way down the driveway, one shovelful at a time. We toss the light powder into the clear air. We feel the cold mist on our faces. And with every heave, we disappear and become lost to each other in these sudden clouds of our own making, these fountain bursts of snow. This is so much better than a sermon in church, I say out loud, but Buddha keeps on shoveling. This is the true religion, the religion of snow and sunlight and winter geese barking in the sky, I say, but he is too busy to hear me. He has thrown himself into shoveling snow as if it were the purpose of existence, as if the sign of a perfect life were a clear driveway you could back the car down easily and drive off into the vanities of the world with a broken heater fan and a song on the radio. All morning long we work side by side, me with my commentary, and he inside his generous pocket of silence, until the hour is nearly noon and the snow is piled high all around us. Then I hear him speak. After this, he says, can we go inside and play cards? Certainly, I reply, and I will heat some milk and bring cups of hot chocolate to the table while you shuffle the deck. And our boots stand dripping by the door. Ah, says the Buddha, lifting his eyes and leaning for a moment on his shovel before he drives the thin blade again deep into the glittering white snow. Friends, our closing hymn will be number 15, The Lone Wild Bird. We'll put the lyrics in the chat. And again, this is from the UU Virtual Singers of the Unitarian Church in Los Alamos, New Mexico.
Thank you again, Jake, for screen sharing and doing our Zoom check this morning. As our service comes to a close, I'll share this benediction, a winter meditation by Tess Bomberger. Something has changed in me this winter. In the past, I focused on how long winter is, how miserable I find it, and how it seems so interminable. This winter, I find myself thinking instead that every day, every hour, every minute brings us just that much closer to spring. We all experience wintry times when things seem harsh and frozen or muffled by layered shrouds of snow. It is helpful to remember that each day that dawns bleakly, each night that wraps its cold cloak around our hearts, brings us closer to that time of warmth and vibrant sun. It is perhaps helpful to consider that turning towards spring is an active thing. The earth, which seems so stable, in fact, flies quickly through space on its path that tilts us ever towards the source. So too, each memory we lay to rest, each truth in ourselves that we encounter and accept, each wrong act that we forgive, ushers us towards our renewal. Jonathan will now share our postlude, which is Prelude in C major from the Well-Tempered Clavier by J.S. Bach.
Thank you, everybody, so much for joining us this morning. It's lovely to be together, even if we're not in person and not at the church itself, but happy to share this snowy day with you all. Big thanks to everybody who made this service possible, and especially to Jake for being our Zoom usher this morning, to Meredith and Joel and Dave for helping, and Rose and Jonathan and Gretchen and Lori and all the people who helped decide and get the church shoveled and get the worship service planned. Big thanks. This was a group effort. We'd love to stick around for about 15 minutes if you'd like to join us and say hello in a breakout room. All you need to do is just stick around. And again, the planned worship for today will be on March 3rd, and the special meeting has been moved to February 23rd. So keep an eye out for more information about that. And we'll see you in breakout rooms. Have a beautiful snowy day, everybody.